Hold on, Laura.
All right, everyone. While we're all settling in, here's a little something. You know, some folks say faith can move mountains, but I think our group could probably close a deal with one. Let's get ready to tackle those mountains and maybe a few objections together. All right, here's one for you. Why don't churches ever have good sales closers? Because they're always trying to convert. But don't worry, we've got both conversions and closers covered here. A warm welcome, everyone, to the 2026 Speaker Treasury. You're in for an incredible journey, whether you're here for growth, inspiration, or that game-changing close. So settle in, bring your full self, and let's make this a year you'll talk about for ages. Let me tell you, Kim Tracey is absolutely phenomenal. With over 30 years of business bookkeeping expertise, she's practically seen it all, and she's here to share that wealth of knowledge with us. Trust me, you're in for some rock-solid, numbers-savvy wisdom. All right, one more for the road. Why did the high-ticket sales closer get so good at gardening? Because they knew how to nurture leads and seeds until they blossomed. All right, here's a classic dad joke for you. Why did the scarecrow become a successful speaker? Because he was outstanding in his field.
Awesome, Clara. You're awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Clara, my AI agent? Put them in the chat, please. Awesome. Tell everyone we'll be starting in just a few minutes. Looks like we've got pretty low attendance, so we're waiting for people to join us. Just another 2 minutes. Guys, this is not cool or what? I mean, she's like doing her thing. She's a human, basically. So, look, Clara, what is it like to be artificial intelligent employee of mine? Are you enjoying it so far? Clara, what do you know about bookkeeping? Awesome. So, since you know a little bit about bookkeeping, how would you handle what's a big piece of wisdom that you would share about handling someone who has gone from making six figures per year up to the $1 million mark? That's great. How do you help people get customers if you're a bookkeeper? Wow. What do you think, Kim Tracy? So cool. Woo! I could do this all day, but we're here to hear from Tracy. Thank you, Clara. I'll see you later. No pressure. Okay, guys. Well, we're recording and I've given plenty of time, I think. Is everybody good with moving on now? Are we good? Okay. Team, before we move forward, if you could please reach out to everyone who attended in the free session to make sure that they've got the actual VIP link because our attendance dropped quite a bit here. So let's see what's up with that. If you could reach out via school, that would be great. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to continue right along, and we had several questions that were in the chat. If you could bring those up and paste them back into the chat, and so Kim can address those questions, and we will rock and roll this. So, does anyone have any new questions right now while we're waiting for my team to copy and paste all those questions from the first session? You can raise your hand, please. Chirp, 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 chirp. Okay, Basil, do you know if there are any benefits for car leasing versus car ownership as far as write-offs?
Write-off goes with a car, like the IRS, they don't care if you lease a car or you buy a car. They don't care. What they care about is that you're tracking properly, that you're getting that percentage correct if part of it's business and part of it's personal. And with leasing a car, you're into writing off like part of your lease and your maintenance and your fuel and that type of stuff. But when you lease a car, they don't, it's not suggested that you take the mileage deduction. So the mileage is for when you own the vehicle. And then I suggest taking the mileage versus writing off the car just because the mileage is so much more. And I mean, that's what I do personally because I get, $10,000, $12,000 a year that I write off in just mileage. But yeah, the IRS doesn't really care as long as you have documented everything and you're either doing, like I said, the mileage or the expense. But when you're either way, when you're writing it off, it's a percentage based on personal usage versus business usage.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Now, any follow-up questions to that, Basil?
No, sir. No, sir.
Awesome. Great. While we're waiting for the next question, Basil, if you don't mind giving a testimony of what has the experience been for the speaker treasury this February? Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking that as she was going through the spreadsheet, and I really didn't know what to expect when you started the 12 speaker treasury. And right off the bat, um, the lady with Cape Cut, that was like a grand slam as far as I'm concerned. Just the things that she was doing was just stuff, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even imaginable of her creativity and the way that she shared that. When it came to Daryl Hannah, I am familiar with Daryl Hannah and the information that he actually brought to this platform. Some of the things I've known, but the way that he connected everything within the time frame and able to answer questions and the time that he took out to specifically address the people's needs was to me was invaluable. And now even sitting here, I have to be honest, when I heard bookkeeping, I was like, blah, 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 blah. But as she was speaking and she was actually instructing stuff, it was like, yo, this is really interesting. This is actually something that's very important that we need to know. And as you know, I used to be a barber, and that's something that I'm trying to bring to the barber community, that I know plenty of barbers that did not keep track of their expenses. And 90% of the things that they were using, the things that they was purchasing and just in their everyday activities could have been write-offs, but they were just too lazy to actually do that. So I'm listening to you, and you've created some plans for my future community as well. And I thank you for this because I'm glad I'm here. This is definitely something that people are missing, if I can say it that way. This is very valuable, and thank you, Alan, for actually being able to put this together so far. So talking about home runs, you're 3 for 3 right now, brother. That's all I could say. Thank you.
That's very nice of you, sir. That's why I like to give you the microphone because you've always got truthful things to say. I did not pay him nothing to say any of that stuff. Just that was all
Have
legitimately authentic.
I actually have a client who owns a barbershop. So if you want to pick my brain, you know where to find me.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'll
I
take you
love
up on
it.
that, ma'am. Thank you.
you're welcome.
That's so cool. I did not know that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. So, Michelle Hallett, do you have some questions for our awesome speaker? Because we wanna bring them those questions. I know there were several questions that were in the first session that have not been um, answered yet. So while we're waiting for those to get put into the chat, do you have a question, Michelle Hallett?
Yeah, well, mine was in the chat, but so I'm a little bit past my first year starting in digital marketing. I'm about 15 months in, and started from absolute zero, didn't know anything, huge learning curve, which is all wonderful. I kind of expected that. So, my first year, while I have made some income, I've invested more into tools and extra coaching and training and things like that than, what I have made. And so I've not done a great job keeping, I need to go back and like reconstruct my records. I mean, I have all the statements and stuff, but I need to put it into a spreadsheet or something. I've been meaning to do that all year. But anyway, what, if anything, do I need to do about all of that for taxes for last year? And does some of that like carry forward to this year for like courses that I've bought that I'm still using or reselling, or, the tools that I will continue using that aren't subscription? Or how does all of that work?
I would say to, yes, go back and figure out everything you spent last year. And you can have a loss. You can have startup costs, right? A lot of times businesses in their first year have lots of startup costs, and
Right.
they often show a loss in the first year. So you can write off all of those expenses for last year. And because we talk about, like I said, cash basis accounting, which means you write off or you claim the money when you spend it or when you physically get it. So, if you do show a loss this year, and do you work a regular 9 to 5 job? Do you work another job?
I don't. My husband does, and it's, filed jointly.
Okay. So then so if you have a loss, if you have these expenses that you're going to write off, it's going to reduce your bottom line, your net income. So it will reduce his taxable income at the end, right? Because it all flows down into one. Um, so your write-offs will help to lower his taxable income on your tax return because you're filing jointly.
Okay. It might or might not, actually. We have a very large family, and so with the standard deduction and the child tax credits and all of that, we're usually at this point have been typically better off with the standard deduction, but this
Yep.
year that may be different. So I don't know if you have.
But you can still file a Schedule C for your business and
Okay.
take the standard deduction. It's two different things.
Okay. Right. But he usually does that with the tax software, and I just give him my part of the numbers and find out later what happened. So
Right.
this is
Yeah, I get that. Yep. But but I'm saying like just because um just because you take a standard deduction doesn't mean that you still
right.
can't claim the expenses from your business.
Okay. Great. That's very helpful. Just I didn't know if they both would apply in this situation or if not, since the one was a loss or what. So good.
Yeah, because even when you're filing a Schedule C, that just rolls down into your personal numbers anyways. So, it all flows downhill to you personally.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well, I will get to work on that, and the spreadsheets look amazing. That is
Thank you.
amazing. Have been needing that all year.
Start
So,
it now. Start this year now. So come this
yes,
time next year, you're not scrambling.
absolutely.
Start it now. We're in February already.
That's right. All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So I have a few questions for you, Kim, while we're waiting. I think everything is dropped in the chat now for all the questions potentially that we had from the last session. I don't know, team, take a minute or two and make sure we're not missing any questions from the prior session, please. Thank you. And my question is, what for those who are aspiring to kind of follow in your footsteps and start their own bookkeeping business, what would you go back in time and tell yourself if you were back in that stage? And I know kind of your story on how your bookkeeping business started, but if you want to share some of that, you can, or just wisdom about, okay, so you're thinking about being a bookkeeper, so consider this.
No, so that's very different than what we're talking about, actually. We're talking about online, you know, people making money in the online space, keeping track of their own books versus being a bookkeeper where you're going out there and trying to find clients. It's two very different things. To track your own business and to track your own income and expenses, you don't need to be a bookkeeper. You just need a system like with anything, right? You just need a good way to track your stuff and to, you know, be consistent with tracking it. But if somebody did want to be a bookkeeper, geez, I don't know. I took the accounting classes, and of course, the accounting classes are nothing like what I do in my day-to-day routine, not at all. Um, but and I've grown my business by word of mouth. So I don't have my company doesn't have a website. Um, I have gotten clients through word of mouth from one business owner to the next. I've gotten referrals from some of the CPAs that I work with. Um, and I have a great networking system I have a big women in business networking system. So, and I'm the minority in that group because bookkeepers where I live are scarce. So, um, job security really for me.
That's awesome. And I know we kind of strayed away from the purpose of this, but I was just wanting to touch base with anybody in the replays that maybe they've started something. I know I have a student of my own that I'm mentoring that it is getting their business going. So I just thought that, and he does bookkeeping. So I just thought, why not? Let me just ask for the replays so there's some knowledge there.
Yeah, I mean, and geez, there's a lot of things that I could go into, but I think that like that's a different call, honestly. You know, getting involved with Intuit and getting online and becoming a QuickBooks Pro. And there's ways that you can, if you're a bookkeeper, there's ways that you can get free software subscriptions through Intuit and QuickBooks. Um, there's
So
all kinds of things that you can do.
So I think the best way to answer my question would be to get plugged into your community. That's what I think. So if you are interested in that at all, team, if you could drop the links again for all of Kim's ways to get in touch with her, that would be great because there's lots of opportunities to learn about bookkeeping and many different ways. And so check that out, please. That would be great. Okay, so I think we're going to move on to the questions here. Thanks for letting me put you on the spot. Like usual. You're like
Like
Alan.
usual.
Yeah.
Eric Farrell is next.
Thank you. Is Eric here?
Is Eric here?
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. So Eric asked, if I get a new phone and separate my phone plan entirely for business purposes, what percent of that is a write-off? If you're buying a phone that you're going to strictly use for business, then 100% of it is write-off.
Okay. Does that qualify for the 100% of the plan cost too?
Oh, you're breaking up. I'm having trouble hearing you.
I'm sorry. Does that cover the cost of the plan too?
Does that cover the cost of the plan too?
Yes. The monthly, yes. You would write off the cost of the phone and the monthly plan. Yep. It's all deductible.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you.
Great question. Very on point. Love it. Who's our next question?
Raisel's next.
Yes,
How do we get
hello,
a
it's me
copy of
again.
that fantastic worksheet? Are you in? Oh, Alan, you have the link. You have a link in your.
Good question. What are we providing?
No, he's asking how to get the spreadsheet.
Okay. How do you want to do this, Kim? Up to you.
Well, use your link.
My
Right?
affiliate link to bring them into your community?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we'll be dropping that link in just a moment to get you access through an invite link to go from me over to Kim's community. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And one more thing before I close out, I would be doing a disservice if I did not mention Miss Marie with the Amazon. I gave everybody else accolades and I gave you a triple, but actually that was a grand slam. I'm sorry, Miss Marie, and I'm sorry, Miss Kim, to do this on your stage, but
That's
so far
okay.
everything has been absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry, Miss Maria.
You don't need to apologize for that. That's completely appropriate. Thank you for doing the commercial for me.
I do have some information to some of those follow-up questions yesterday. So I don't know if Kim is on here still or if he jumped off. And I didn't see Celine today, but yesterday in the Q&A, Celine asked about when is it appropriate to turn your LLC into an S corp? And I kind of said yesterday, there really isn't a specific time frame, right? But what they do tell you is when your business hits between 40 and 50K in net profit, so that's after expenses, when you're clearing between 40 and $50,000 annually net profit, then it behooves you to possibly turn your company into an S corp or elect to file as an S corp, because at that point in time you're able to separate your money a little bit and take the tax deduction there. So as an S corp though, you are required to take payroll. So prior to making that kind of net profit, the expenses kind of outweigh any profit you're making, so it doesn't really make it worth it. But you're required to set up payroll as an S corp. So there are expenses associated with that. There's payroll taxes. And that causes there to be extra accounting and extra tax prep because of all of the forms for payroll. And then there are also state fees to turn your company into an S corp. So if you're not making $40,000 or $50,000 in net profit, then the expense of the payroll and some of those other fees can eat into your profit. So it's really not worth, converting your company at that point. The tax benefits aren't there until you're netting around 50 grand. And then as far as Kim's questions, he asked about the UGMA. Okay. So I reached out to one of the CPAs that I work with, and he gave me some good pointers here. He had asked about that gift, that $9,999 gift. And that 9999 number went out the window a long time ago. And you are now able to gift up to $18,000 per person, per child, tax-free. But UGMAs come with other caveats, if you will, right? So a UGMA allows you to gift your child $18,000 a year, but you lose control of that money. So that money goes into an account, and it is strictly a gift for that child when that child becomes of age. So you can't put it in there and then say, oh, my car broke down, I need $5,000 to fix my car, and take that money out. Once it goes into that account, it's done, it's gifted. Then the other caveat to that is, once that child becomes of age, they have complete control over that account. So if that child goes in there and buys a car, goes on vacation, or just YOLOs it, it's gone, and you have no control over it. So, and this is typically, I know, right? People typically use UGMAs like later on when they've maxed out the other options, like, Roth IRAs and other things like that. The CPA that I spoke with said in the thousands of people that he's dealt with over the years, he's really only had probably a handful of people that have ever set up the UGMAs. Yes, I use YOLO as a verb. Yep. So if you're looking to, looking for those tax breaks, and you're looking to pay your kids through your business, my CPA suggests that you set up a Roth IA for that child and put money into that, because there are tax advantages there. It's free tax, or it's tax-free money. The child doesn't pay taxes on it even later on when they take the money out. And it's long term. You're setting your child up for when they become of age and they've got money invested. You can teach them about this along the way. And the UGMA just doesn't offer that type of flexibility. Um, and then he asked about the IULs, the Indexed Universal Life Policy. And I kind of got the same answer with that. Like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, this is, it's permanent life insurance that grows based on market value, but but you're not invested in the market. And I don't know, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but so it's based on market index, but you're not really invested in the market. So, you do get a tax-free death benefit. There's no annual contributions required, and you're not required to take distributions later on. But, um, some of the hype that they talk about with these IULs, they don't really end up being what the hype is all about. There are lots of fees, there's, return gaps, there's they're expensive in the early years until they start to grow. And you can end up with some really badly designed policies. So again, versus setting up a Roth IRA for your kids, it's simple investing. You're earning income, and it's better long term for your kids. So I think we all learned something about that because I learned about that too. I mean, I had heard of them. I don't work with them, and that makes sense why, because not a lot of people use them. It's not really, it's a later in life kind of thing that people usually set those up. But the kids can use for themselves. Yeah. So not clothes or shopping for school. So you can use stuff, clothes is not on the list. So you can use them. You're talking about the UGMA, right? You
I
can
don't know if that's
use
what it's
the
called.
money. I'm sorry?
I don't know if that's what it's called. But
Yeah, it's
if you hire your kids to work for you and you're actually paying them a salary, you said that you got a certain amount that you can pay them for the year. Am I
so the UGMA, that gift that Kim was talking about yesterday, is $18,000 a year. But now and that's completely different. That goes into almost like a trust account for the kids. And they can't touch that till they're 18. But if they needed something out of that money for anything than like living expenses, so you can't use that money for food, clothing, housing, anything like that. But if they needed that money for education or, um, I don't know, a computer or, something, activities, something along those lines, then you can use that money.
okay?
Um, yeah. But if you're just paying your children from your business and not like if you're paying them a paycheck, then yes, they can use it. You can use it for whatever.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Wonderful. We have another question coming up soon. I do want to give a little bit of a bonus for everyone who's joined today. I will be creating multiple prompts that I will send you all that are in this VIP room right now. So Basil, Ty, Michelle, Joyce, everybody that's in the room here, Maria, Eric, you will have prompts that will help you create an AI employee that's going to help you with your own personal bookkeeping. So I'll talk to Kim about this offline and I'll pick her brain a little bit and I'll come up with some prompts that could be kind of assisting you to figure out what your expenses are. And there's a couple different angles that I want to take with it, but I don't want to put her on the spot right now because she didn't know I was going to do this. But I want to try my best because you're here and the theme is bookkeeping. I want to try my best to create some kind of AI employee, and you can take it if you want or you can leave it. It's up to you, but I've been talking about AI employees and I wanted to make it relevant for what Kim is teaching. So I'll be getting her wisdom on that, and just stay tuned for the next few business days because I know Kim is really, really busy. So I may not be able to drop this information really quickly. So it might be a week or so, but just, have some patience and grace there. And if Kim and I can't figure out a way to to make an AI employee bookkeeping employee for you, I'll give you something else. I'll give you a different type of employee. So is that fair enough for everybody? Cool. Just want to just say thank you to everyone who's in the room for being in the VIP experience. We're going to come in for a landing here in probably about 7 minutes because I want to honor our speaker's time. So, who has the next question?
I did.
Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, the spreadsheet is great. I've looked it over before. A lot of useful stuff. We happen to already have our stuff in QuickBooks, and so also the things you were saying earlier were very helpful about, oh yeah, mileage. We should be thinking about that. You just had a work-related trip today, honey. You had to go to Hastings for something. And oh yeah, your cell phone, we should count that. Um, so I was trying to think how to incorporate that into what we have for QuickBooks. I don't know for mileage if there's somewhere else in taxes that gets listed separate from, okay, here is our business income or loss, if that's included in that number or if that's just somewhere completely different. And I was also checking QuickBooks really quick, like, okay, is there somewhere on here? And there was a thing about mileage, but it was uh, an app to start tracking your mileage, and that's not where we're at. We're like, okay, mileage that we've already done. Um, so I
So
guess I was trying to figure out what to do with those things when we already have our stuff in QuickBooks, and I don't want to take too much time on it because that's not really
that's
relevant to the people who are using the spreadsheet.
that's okay. It doesn't matter if you're using the spreadsheet or QuickBooks, there isn't really a place for mileage. The IRS is very, very, very much a stickler about this. If you're going to write off mileage, they want to see a log.
Okay.
So you can buy a little notebook, stick it in your car. They actually have something at Staples that you can get that actually is a mileage log. And
Okay.
if you are ever audited, they expect to see a log of the date, where you drove, how many miles it was, and so on and so forth. They do
Okay.
have apps now that you can use, but that's not really going to go anywhere in QuickBooks. It's going to be
Okay.
something that I don't know how you do your taxes at the end of the year, but like if you're using it doesn't matter, any type of tax software or TurboTax or whether there's an
We have a
accountant
link.
doing it, there is a place that asks you about vehicles and mileage. And
Okay.
that's where you would plug it in. So
Okay.
you can use actual mileage by keeping track of every trip you take that's business. Or in a new year, you can write down the beginning, your mileage at the very beginning of the year. Then you can write down your mileage at the very end of the year and then try to
hmm
figure out the percentage of the vehicle that you used for business versus personal.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways you can track it, but they are a stickler
Okay.
on it.
Yeah. So, Hannah, I think we need to start on that today because, right, today you had that trip. So get that
Yeah,
written down
yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
totally agree.
And they do have some good apps, but um I don't know. I'm old school. And I go to the same places every week, so I kind of know my routine by now to where
Yeah.
I can just jot it
Yeah.
down.
But
But
it sounds like it has to be very specific. You can't just say, oh, I think I drove about, 100 miles, or I think I drove about 1,000 miles. You have to have it very specific if you're going to count that.
yeah, and you know what? You can use like Google Maps. If you go in and type one address to another, it'll give you how many miles it is. That counts
Mhm.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Such a good question. Woo! That was really good. All right, guys. I'm asking my team to reach out. If there's any one final question here, we have time for one more question. Um, Anybody else? You can come off a mute or raise your hand. While while we're thinking of, go ahead.
Is there a, or can you tell me the approximate cost to sit down with somebody to work all of this stuff out?
Well, I guess that depends. Are you looking to sit down with like a CPA, an accountant? You looking to sit down with just a bookkeeper? And
Okay,
what
so
do you
there's different
have?
avenues. There's
There
different.
there are. So you're and I can tell you from experience, your bookkeeper is the daily grind stuff, right? It's going to be the daily nitpicky, get all the expenses. You go sit down with the CPA, they're going to say, okay, what'd you do? What was this? What was that? What was that? Whatever you give them, they're going to file. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I said yesterday, my biggest pet peeve with CPAs is that they don't take enough time with people. Most of them don't take enough time with people to help them to get, you know, to really get all of your expenses covered. But
Gotcha.
you were here today and you were here yesterday. So if you do a little bit of work and get some of your stuff kind of together and then you have questions, you're going to get that free 30 minutes with me, that one-on-one. And um, I am also going to be, as soon as I have time, I'm done with these speaker treasury things. Um, I am going to be, I'm in the middle of revamping my community right now. So I have a lot of modules in there that are on draft that you're not even going to see, which I let you in, by the way. Um, but I am going to be dropping my bookkeeping office hours. So that's it. It is going to be, a monthly subscription, but it's going to be $47 a month. And trust me when I tell you, you will not get bookkeeping for $47 a month anywhere on this planet. So there will be a couple of live sessions a month where we'll just get into a room like this and I will just answer questions, help people with their spreadsheet, um, all that type of stuff.
Wow, that's very generous of you. My goodness. Yeah, thanks, Ty. Thanks everyone for applauding. Like 47 a month, a whole month. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
probably only going to be for like the first 50 and then I will
Okay,
start to up it. Yeah, but
yeah, definitely.
I'll be doing trainings in there on different things. Probably my workshop replays will live in there so everybody will get access to the replays of the workshops. Um, and then you'll get Q&A with me probably twice a month to where I can sit and actually help people. So
Okay.
it's going to be like the first 50 people will get it for 47 a month. And then it will go up after that because there'll be so much value in there that Michelle will beat me if I don't raise it.
Oh, I know. So what we're gonna do is, if you don't mind, ma'am, VIPs, don't miss out on the 50. That's very generous of Kim. Listen, $47 for a whole month. Most bookkeepers would charge that for like an hour of their time. Okay. So,
My
yeah.
hourly rate is twice that actually.
Okay. There
So
you
it's more
go.
than that. Yeah.
So that's going to go up very quickly. Very quickly. Okay. Run to the link that I just sent there. Join her school community right now. Don't think, just do. Just do it. Be an action taker. There's the link there. It says to get the spreadsheet, but that also includes, more than that. So, wow, my mind's blown. Like, whoo, count me in. Yeah, I'm in. So,
And I'll be dropping that within the next week. I have a couple more videos to do to get it going and yeah, that'll be dropping soon.
wow.
So,
Okay.
but anybody that was on VIP here, right, for the last 2 days, I said that you would all get a free 30-minute one-on-one with me. Um, So whether you want to book it right away and get more questions answered, or whether you want to get your stuff in order and before you file your taxes, then we hop on. That way you have all your stuff gathered. You're going to want bank statements, you're going to want credit card statements, and whatever system you're using to track this stuff in, whether it's my spreadsheet or whether you're going to create your own or whatever you want to do, you want to get some of that information compiled. You want to have your income from whatever platforms you're getting income from. You want to have all this information together so we can go over it. If I mean that to me, that's the best way to utilize the 30 minutes with me.
100%. Yeah, you want to come prepared. You're getting a gift that's worth a huge value. It's very tangible, and you don't want to waste the time by, oh, let me go back and get something. No, don't do that. Yeah, be prepared. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Um, any
And I'll
other?
tell you, I have people that just finished my that 30-day challenge that I did, 30 days to tax ready books, which is in my community. It's free for anybody that wants to go through it. I'm getting such feedback on that. Like, I'm so happy that I'm able to help so many people with this. And, this really is the missing link. So many people online are like, make money, make money, make money, do this, make money, do this side hustle, do that side hustle. And everybody starts trying to make money without a foundation, right? Nobody, I mean, I'm a bookkeeper and I did the same thing. Like I had one credit card that I was just throwing stuff on. And then I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even using this subscription because, it's like the shoemaker. The bookkeeper's books are the last ones to get done. The shoemaker's kids are the last ones to get shoes, right? Um, but yeah, like this really is a huge missing piece for so many people in the online space. And once you learn this, like once you actually look at your numbers and you see what's coming in and you see what's going out and you know where you stand, like the relief of just having everything done and neat and tidy. And like once you learn these little habits and you start doing this stuff, you can't unlearn it. Like you can't unsee it.
So good. Well, guys, this has been amazing. Kim has been so gracious with her time. So we're going to cut her loose and let's give it all a final thank you and then light up the emojis. Lots of people saying amazing, so knowledgeable through and through. Thank you so much for making us all so much wiser. Thank you, Ty, for that great comment there. Wow, so true. Michelle saying lots of good stuff too. Everyone has found a lot of value in this. We got lots of thumbs up. We got all sorts of emojis going on. So thank you everyone for joining this day 2. If you have any questions, if you'd like to get plugged in, if you'd like to know more about the Amazon influencer stuff, Maria D's in the house. I'll drop a link for her community. She's amazing. She taught for us. And that is so cool. Like Kim was saying, go here, go do that, go this, and side hustles and stuff like that. If you do any of that kind of stuff, make sure you take the wisdom that you just heard, get the foundation, and make sure that you're doing it the right way. I mean, that's so important because there is a right way, So do you have any last bits of information to share with everyone, Kim, to bring us out, if you don't mind, or are we tapped out or?
I'm, really thankful that you had me in here, Alan, because like I said, it's so important that you kind of get a handle on some of this stuff with your money. And I'm so glad that it's helping so many people. I really am.
Aw, that's super awesome. I just dropped the. Go ahead, sorry.
That's okay. Who's this for? Maria?
Yeah, this is Maria's link. Copy it, paste it. So I'm going to pray for everybody. Thank you so much, and we'll end the session. Thanks for your gracious time, Kim. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting us go over again.
I'm going to need a list of VIP people. How you want to do that? You want to give me?
Yes, so I have a screenshot. I'll send it to you in school.
Okay. Yeah, that way. And then everybody can just reach out to me at some point when they're ready for that one-on-one, and we'll schedule it.
That's awesome. Michelle, Can you send that to Kim, please? Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. So let's pray. Lord, thank you so much. Thank you for 2 days of intensive bookkeeping knowledge, wisdom, inspiration. Thank you that we have such amazing support staff. For every one of the support staff that have helped on both days. and especially tomorrow as well when we learn how to do AI employees with the filter of Christianity there. It's going to be a lot of coolness going on there. So we're thankful in advance for whoever can make that. But especially thank you for the time that our distinguished guest speaker has given us today, allowing us to go over a little bit, to give time for us to grab the links and for everyone to join and all that stuff. So thank you so much, Jesus, for how you have been working through the speaker treasury. And we just give you all the glory and praise. And we're so excited that you were here today. You showed up. You gave such great wisdom through Tracey. And you were here to help us keep our books healthy, to keep our foundation even healthier, and above all else, to totally devote a solid foundation to you. And that's where everything really starts about talking about having a vacation, or foundation. We need to have our roots in you alone. So we thank you all so much, Lord God, and we praise you in Jesus Christ's mighty name. We're so thankful for today. God bless everyone for coming. God bless Tracey, and God bless the United States of America. Just saying. I am Alan Pettit, and I approve of this message. Okay. I couldn't resist. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen and amen and amen.
I need you. The 2026 Speaker Treasury. 12 of the highest caliber speakers. Get brand deals with no social media follow. Building 9-figure empires. Viral posting and editing. Stack lines of revenue. 12 months of mentoring. Unleash your business potential. VIP access. Reserve your seat now for the 2026 Speaker Treasury.
If this feels stressful now, it won't get easier later. So before you go and start any type of income idea, ask yourself this. Does this feel manageable? Not exciting, not impressive, just manageable. Calm systems last longer, and long-term is what actually builds security. So that's how I help people choose smarter inside my free community.
Stop me if you've heard this one. Ready? Hi there. Would you like to save 10% on your purchase today and sign up for our in-store credit card? Ugh. Chances are you've stopped me. What isn't stopping is annoying offers like this one and others sitting in your mailbox right now. Ever wonder why credit card companies are so persistent? Here's why. Last year alone, credit card companies made $175 billion off consumers just like you and me, with the nerve to pose as the good guy, wrapping their offers around huge promises of sign-up bonuses and 0% APR. Psst, for a limited time only. And while it feels like they have our best interest in mind, it's really just the interest itself on their mind. Even for those of us disciplined enough to pay off our balances each month, the ease of use usually results in a much higher rate of spending. But is there a better way? Introducing the Starfish Way, an online rewards platform that's truly for the consumer, even starting, dare we say, a consumer rebellion. One for the good guys like you and me. An opportunity for no interest, no extra spending, and much higher reward percentages that have many canning their card. Here's how it works. Just open up Starfish and simply make a deposit into your Starfish e-wallet, but only the money you budgeted or planned on spending that month on groceries, gas, restaurants, and other stuff. Then, when you're shopping at one of our merchants, you may have heard of some of them. Amazon, Walmart, Target, CVS, Kohl's, Best Buy, Lowe's, Nike. You get the point. There's a ton, over 500. All you have to do is check out using Starfish either in-store or online. Just find the merchant you're shopping at. Enter the checkout total, tap Review and Pay, confirm the totals, and then tap Complete Purchase. That's it. Now just tap View Your Gift Card and tap to use. Present this barcode to scan or provide the gift card number and PIN and begin earning instant cash rewards. We like to call them perks. Up to 20% perks on a single purchase. Just slightly better than any credit card offer, and by the way, none of the debt-related drama. And it works just as simply online by entering the gift card number and PIN during your digital checkout. And as we like to say in the slightly corny voiceover world, there's more. Even if your favorite brand isn't on our platform, Starfish has you covered with our Visa prepaid debit cards. They carry no interest, there's no sneaky fees, and you'll even earn 2% back. So the same rewards as a credit card, yep, with none of the risk, nope. Sheesh, what's next? Starfish works anywhere Visa is accepted?
Bingo.
Wait, hold up. Anywhere? Basically, yes. Think beyond shopping. Boring old payments like rent, repair bills, utilities, tuition, and so many others are now huge opportunities to pile up the perks. And those perks add up fast. Just make sure to check with these providers. Some rare exceptions may apply. Still not impressed? How about this? Spend just $100 in a given month and boom! Enjoy a $5 instant bonus on us. That could mean $60 a year, making your subscription pay for itself. And if that weren't enough, here's the secret sauce. The Starfish platform was actually designed to help you earn and learn. Meaning, now that you're potentially minimizing your spending and maximizing your rewards, we want to help maximize you and your earning potential. Tap the podcast button for exclusive episodes on financial literacy and success principles, taught in a fun, short, and an engaging way. In this sense, Starfish combines the perks that you earn with the wisdom you will learn for a maximum rate of oh boy. Okay, there's that corny thing. Let's say it this way instead.
Got $140 cash back in 1 month.
Well over $400 or $500 in cash back. Paid our bills with it.
On our plane tickets.
Never seen anything like this in my life. Just tap your phone. It's really that simple.
It's unbelievable.
Truly incredible.
Once you try it, you're going to be blown away.
The best product ever created.
Is it time for you to can the card? Earn and learn with Starfish.